Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our small but happy Taneytown Athletic Association meeting for November 15th. We're just going to go ahead and start with association reports. So we already have Bill already at the table, ready to give his update to us. So go ahead.
Hi, Bill Rose with FSK Junior Eagles Soccer. Updates are our fall season ended. It was very successful. Had over 370 players across 31 teams. The end of the season banquets this Saturday on the 18th over at Northwest. Spring registration will open January 15th. Estimated We're estimating around 400 players for spring. The spring will be utilizing Roberts Mill and Northwest at max capacities, improving field conditions at Roberts Mill continue to be top priority for the league. And the snack shack improvements that I did and Taneytown DPW looks great. And it's the guys did really nice with the rock and stuff. Couple things that the board wanted me to ask was the area beside the shed, if that was still gonna be getting flattened out, and so we could use that as another little clinic field.
Yes, it's still on the list. So where it is on the list, I mean, it's not on top priority, but it is definitely on the list. So we know we need to get in there and do some grading and then really supersede it. So that way, we can get something established there. I don't think it's going to be ready to go for you, in March when you start
Right.
your spring season, just because that's not going to give
Yeah,
the
it's not gonna
grass
give any
enough
growth
time.
time.
Yeah, yeah. but-
Understandable.
Yeah.
The other question, which I think I've mentioned in prior meetings, is can we do something to get better cameras at Roberts Mill to start helping protect our fields from vandalisms?
Yeah,
Because we have
yeah.
to replace almost every net this year because they got cut and another
Right.
goal got broken, and so.
Yeah.
And it just seems like every time something happens, the camera angles aren't right
Yeah.
to watch our fields.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
would be greatly appreciated
Okay.
on that.
Sure.
And then we're also finalizing the budgets for 2024. And should get you the bank statements shortly.
Okay. Right. Okay. And the assistance requests
Pardon?
too? Assistance requests,
Yeah.
you list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the wish list and all that
Yes.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's what I came with from the last board meeting. So thank you.
Okay.
You guys have any questions?
Do you have any questions? So 400 for spring.
Yeah, that's what we're
What
asking.
you're
That's what.
projecting.
Yeah, that's what we're projecting.
Wow. My
That's
gosh.
crazy.
So yeah,
And how many, you said you had 370 players across how
We-
many teams?
31 teams.
Okay. Wow. Okay. A lot.
So
Yeah, we had Eckers do the deep aeration out there with the actual, pulling the plugs out.
Oh,
and
they did
everything
the
like
plugs
that.
instead of the
Yes,
slits this
instead of
time?
the slits, yeah,
Okay.
because that way it just gives a better trench for the seed to get down in there and not be eaten by the birds right away. So
Gotcha.
we can hopefully, and we got all of that seeded, fertilized, so let's cross our fingers that we can get that established and when a spring rolls around, it'll start looking, a little bit better and
They still look better than 5 years ago, so I
right,
can't
yeah.
complain about that.
Yeah, that is true. Boy, when I look back at pictures, that I took and then pictures before I even got here, how dry and dusty and lumpy.
Yes, very lumpy.
But yeah,
Yep.
it's a constant a maintenance, item just because of the extreme use that they got for sure.
Yeah, and with soccer continuing to grow, it just
Mm-hmm.
is,
Yeah.
hard.
Yes,
Hard on
yes,
the
it is.
fields.
Well, I mean, I know we've said this before, but once we get those additional fields
Oh,
at
yeah.
the expansion part, then hopefully we'll be able to rotate, and at
Right.
least rest one or two fields, and let them bounce back a little bit, and
Right.
stuff like that. Hopefully that'll alleviate some of the burden.
Hope so.
Yeah,
It should. It'll definitely help, that's for sure.
yeah, yep.
Well,
So we
thank-
grow to 500 kids or?
Well, that all depends on if
Right.
they build that other community they're wanting to do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, more houses.
I mean,
more
it's
kids,
gonna
for sure.
happen. I mean,
It's,
that's all.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
I've-
once we get expansion fields, we're gonna have to find
they've
more
almost,
fields, so.
they've almost doubled since I was president. When I was president, it was 230, 250 at the max.
Mm.
And now they're like 370, 400 every season, so,
Right.
and it's steady.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that we had discussed previously about Festival Park was, I mean, there's no infrastructure out there. There's no water, sewer, electricity, or anything like that. But it's a possibility that, as the city grows and as we need more fields, we maybe put some fields in there. They won't be lit, but at least it'll accommodate, some
Some daytime
daylight,
daylight
right,
games.
practices and games. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's a sizable, parcel out there. So that might
No, it's a,
help.
yeah, it's a great parcel, for
that-
sure.
That might help alleviate,
And there is one patch out there that is perfectly flat.
Right.
yeah,
The
that
rest of
would-
it is like
It's a little
yeah.
dip,
downhill.
little dip.
But the one spot close to the farm is perfectly flat.
Right.
For
Yeah,
a few-
that area wouldn't take a lot, just, maybe some minimal grading and then
Yeah.
get that seed in there and get the fields, prepped
Exactly.
or what have you. And
Exactly,
That would
that
help
would-
at least.
I mean, not 100% ideal, but it would work, to get you some
Hey.
playing time, so.
Yep. Get some field usage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Games are usually during the day anyway.
right.
When the season's in, they usually don't have any nighttime games under the lights. It's just the practices,
Practices, yeah.
especially like daylight savings time. You lose, go from 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock and it gets dark back there.
Right, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we can still talk about it, but, yeah, thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. Lorena, if you just want to go into old
Yes.
business and.
Well, let me read the other.
Oh, that's right,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. So Stephanie was going to be here, but she couldn't. So she does have an update that she gave to Lorena.
Yes.
So.
So she said that West Carroll Cheer did great on their first competition. Their 14U took best of level. Football also did well this season. They had 3 out of 5 teams make it to the championship game. So that's good. That's awesome. And that's what I've got from Stephanie for cheer and football. And then from lacrosse, from them, I received a report that they've got their spring season registration open, and that's going to remain open until January 30th. So it'll be good. I know there's been a lot of organizations out there opening their registrations. Go ahead, everybody get in. So it might seem a little early to think about it, but better to get in there and get
Crazy.
registered and take care
once
of
you-
it.
Right,
Right.
once you end a season, you start
Right,
the process to do it all over again.
right,
so.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
a lot of work that has to
Yeah,
be done.
there's a lot of there's a
Between
lot of
registration and
registration, ordering uniforms for the
Right,
players.
getting everything lined up,
Lots that go into it.
yeah.
But you'll still have some parents, you'll still have some parents that'll be like in March. Is it time to register? So,
Yeah,
I mean, if there's anything for us to push as far as registration or anything that goes on to the sign or whatever, right? You would
yes,
do that?
yes.
Okay.
And I've been sharing everything over to
Okay.
the Facebook page as much as I can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then just let Lorena know. All right. So if you want to go into
yes, let me
good
go ahead.
stuff with old business.
Alrighty, old business, update on various construction and improvement projects in the parks. Because the primary focus has been on Bollinger Park, most of the projects have been pushed to the spring. I think we've gotten a decent amount of things done. Um, you know, it's just unfortunate. We thought that we'd be finished with Bollinger before now, but we haven't. You know, a lot of things popped up that we had to take care of there, so that did push the other projects back, but we'll get there. Do you want me to just keep rolling in?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, unless somebody has a question, I think we're good though, right?
No? Okay.
We're good.
Alrighty then. Update on fiscal year 2024, approved assistance requests and projects. I think we've completed everything for soccer, except grading that small area next to the storage shed at Roberts Mill. I still have Field 1 work to do for baseball, which is gonna have to wait until after Bollinger. And the roofing company is coming in, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, to put new metal roofs on the football field house and the press box, so football should be taken care of. So I think that that's it
Okay.
for all of that, so.
Any questions?
Just barely finishing, and then we're gonna be starting on the, just kidding. There'll be a few months break between 2024 and 2025. Update on Memorial Park expansion projects, so the final site plans, are going to be submitted to the county within the next 2 weeks for all of the agencies to review. We are requesting approval for the preliminary site plan from our planning commission at their November 27th meeting. So we did receive the final cost estimates from the building contractor and the lighting contractor, and they're as good as they're gonna get. The costs are much higher than we anticipated, but knowing that this is a situation where, you know, we should do it once, do it right. You know, we're looking at how we can work all of that out so that we can make this, you know, a feasible project and economically viable, but still put something together that's going to be an improvement for the organizations and the community. So we did apply for a Land Water Conservation Fund grant for that project for about $865,000 of it. We won't hear back whether we got that grant awarded to us or not until June. So, you know, we'll have to kind of play that by ear, go from there. That's all I have for old business. Any questions on that?
So as far as that grant goes, does that hold anything up, or is that one of those things where, like, if we get it, great, if not, like, I mean, we're continuing on?
Right, that's a good question, and it is one that Jim and I, especially when we were putting the grant application in, trying to figure out, okay, can we apply for work starting at this point, knowing the timeline with the grant, so that we can go ahead and get started on some preliminary site work. And I believe that we did that. I believe we factored in like the clearing, the grubbing, the grading, you know, all that preliminary site work, just us going ahead and getting started on that. I mean, if we are awarded the grant, we can go ahead and do, you know, basically whatever work we want. It just won't be reimbursable. So that they make that clear, of course, up front, you know, that, you know, here's your projected timeline, and, you know, so that's fine. But that is something that we're gonna have to factor in. I mean, we're mid-November now, so let's say, well, with Thanksgiving thrown in, say the county really starts opening up those final site plans the end of the month. It's probably not there, we're probably not gonna get their final approvals until, you know, February, March, maybe. And then we'll have to go through the whole floodplain easement process with the county, and that takes a little while, a few weeks. So, and then we'll release the RFP, and then that'll take a month to get those bids in, and then depending on when that date, the due date falls, as opposed to, you know, when council would award the contract. So the timing might work out. Well, with this grant, we'll get notice of the award in June or not, whether we've been awarded or not. But then there are a couple of other steps that have to be taken before they give us a notice to proceed with the work. So that could be October until we get that notice. So again, knowing that we can go ahead and get in there and get some of that preliminary site work done is going to help us. And again, if we get to the point where, okay, well, contractor's just done what he can, now we're gonna sit here and wait until we get that notice to proceed, again, then we will have to make a decision of, well, do we go ahead and get a couple of other little things done and that just won't be reimbursable through the grant, or do we wait and, just get everything that we can reimbursable? I mean, that would be the ideal situation, just because we're gonna need every dollar we can get. It's gonna be, a very expensive project, yeah. But we shall see, and I'll keep everybody updated on that as I hear from Department of Natural Resources, since they're the broker, basically, if you will, for that.
Okay.
It's a federal grant. So,
Any additional? You good? Okay. All right. Then new business, fiscal year 2025 budget. It's crazy. We're talking-
yes, I know, yeah. So we'll be putting all of those worksheets and numbers together in January. So I sent out an email to all of the organizations. I need to have the wish list or the requests and the financial statements sent in by the end of the year. So far, I've gotten a request and financial statement from La Crosse. So I just need it, from everybody else. And again, you don't have to put any prices or quotes on there. If it's something that you could just, like give me an idea of what you're looking for, then I can get the quotes and estimates and such. You want me to just keep going, keep rolling?
Yeah, might as well.
All right,
Yeah.
memorandums of understanding, the renewals, I emailed those out to the organization, so I need those reviewed and signed and returned by the end of the year, so we can get those active for 2024. 2024 event schedule, the event dates have been scheduled. Everything will be emailed out, and just as a reminder, and I'll put the reminder with the email, don't schedule games or practices on event dates in the same park that we're going to be holding our events. Makes it very hectic and somewhat dodgy with traffic flow, so. And then 2024 meeting schedule, will be following the same every other month, starting January 10th. And it'll be March 13th, May 15th, we'll take July off, September 11th, and November 13th. And I'll email that out as well. And of course, it'll be part of the minutes.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and that's all I have.
When did you email the MOUs out?
That was last week or the
Okay.
week before, I believe.
Get anything back yet, or?
Not yet,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no.
just wondering. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions with anything? Going once, going twice? Okay. Any additional comments for you, Bill? Do you have any?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
Okay.
Other than my son actually was kind of been working on with the tragedy that happened here just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
He's trying to come up with an idea to do some kind of like memorial scholarship fund in the gentleman's name that passed away. So he's in the works with the lacrosse coach and Gage's mom and everything, trying to figure something like that out. So I might be hitting you guys up
Yeah.
for
Keep
some
us,
advice.
yes, definitely, keep us posted, yeah, on that, and of course, we can help publicize that, whatever assistance we can provide for that.
That's very nice of your son to do that. And
Yes.
take the initiative to make that happen. So
Right.
that was definitely a terrible tragedy for the whole community. So, no, that's great that he's wanting to do that on his, yeah. Public comment? Jim? Do you have anything to add to anything that we're discussing? Are you good? Okay. All right. So then, we're good. So the next meeting that we have scheduled will be January 10th, 6:30 here. And hopefully it doesn't feel like 10 o'clock when we start.
Yeah.
Because it feels super late right now, so, all right. So with that, then you are free to go. And
Well, thank you.
have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you guys
Happy
have good-
holidays.
Yeah, everything.
Hopefully we'll see you at the-
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New
Yeah,
Year's.
yeah.
That's right.
all that.
Hopefully we'll see you at the tree lighting. So, yeah.
Yeah.
When is that?
That is December 2nd. Yeah. Candy cane hunt kicks off at 4:30, and then Santa will be there at 5:30. Yeah. Yep.
What time was that again? I'm sorry.
4:30 is the candy cane hunt, and then 5:30 Santa arrives for the lighting and all that. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
All right. All right, take breath, everybody. Okay. All right, welcome to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting for November 15th. Obviously, we have some members out. Are you taking official meeting minutes, Lorena?
I am. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Did everybody receive the minutes from the October 11th meeting? All right. Would somebody like to motion for approval?
Move we approve the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have it. Any questions, comments, any additions to anything? Okay, so with that, all in favor of accepting the minutes as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye. All right, so we're good with that. All right. So should we just jump into unfinished business then?
Sure.
All right, Bollinger.
Alrighty, update on Bollinger Park. Yeah, we should be finishing up within the next few weeks. Best case, 2 weeks, worst case, 3 weeks. I don't know. Keep our fingers crossed. Finishing up on the second bridge, finishing up on the trail, and then the asphalt and parking lot entrance is going to be one of the last things that the contractor has to do for us. Public Works is already putting in benches, and they'll soon be putting in the signs. They want to wait for the contractor to finish the trail paving before they put the signs in, just because they're not as, they're a little more movable, I suppose, than the benches, but that all should be installed pretty soon. Parking lot lights are already in. I'm gonna go check them out on my way home, see, because they should be working. So I think we're in good shape. I keep saying that we're getting so close, but we truly are. So it's gonna be opening a little bit later than we had hoped for, so it's probably gonna be chilly when we have our ribbon cutting, and I'm just hoping that people will still be able to get out and take a look at it and walk around, and enjoy it on the nice days during the winter, and then, of course, in the spring, it'll be in its glory.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be nice.
No, it's gonna be a beautiful project.
Yes,
When
yeah.
it's all done, so
Yes.
yes.
And the reforestation trees have all been planted, so that's accomplished, that's good. I've been in almost constant contact with our grantors, and we are still good. They know it's coming, they know we're approaching the finish line, so they're good with that, and they're just waiting for the paperwork to be submitted, yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're okay on that. Which is a sigh of relief because, yeah, I know it was a little stressful there for a while, worrying
It's
about
been a
that.
long journey, but we're there, almost there, almost there.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
All right.
All right, I'll just keep going then on this one as well.
Sure,
All right,
yep.
update on Memorial Park expansion project. As I stated in the TAA meeting, Arrow is going to be submitting the final site plan to the county in the next couple of weeks for their review. We're requesting approval for the preliminary site plan from our planning commission at their November 27th meeting. Nothing has changed really. There's just gonna be
Okay.
more details shown on the final site plan. I'm gonna wait until the next planning commission meeting, not the November one, but the following one. I'm not sure if they're gonna have one in December. They may. But anyway, to introduce the final site plan,
Okay.
because there'll be plenty of time,
Right.
before the
They
county gives
meeting
a
the
final
end of
approval.
of December, Jim? Do you know? Sorry.
It depends on what sort of work items might come in. If there's something
Okay.
that would be a decision item that would normally fall on the December meeting, they'll usually hold a meeting the first week or two in January.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's kind of depends on
Okay.
what comes in.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're
Didn't
right.
mean to put you on the
And I've already gone over about the cost estimates
Yep.
and everything and how it's going to be a higher cost for the project than we originally anticipated. And then, of course, the notes on the LWCF grant application. Update on Memorial Park splash pad. Metro Recreation is working with Water Odyssey to get that revised design back to us based on the smaller footprint and the revisions that we wanted. So we'll be retaining an eagle, but we're getting rid of the stars that looked like starfish, and we'll be adding some other features as much as we can squeeze in on what we're looking at. Maybe a 3,000 square foot area footprint, we're not sure. He's gonna just see what he can do to get it to the price point that we said we wanted to be at.
Okay,
But we're still looking at having the recirculating system above ground so that it will be more easily maintained and so that we can add on to the splash pad in the future if we so choose and if funding is available.
So that, the 3,000 square feet, like how is that laid out? Is it like 50 by 60, like where it's kind of more square? Is it gonna be like a little, like more rectangle, like longer?
Yeah, it's going to be more of a rectangle. Yeah, yeah, yep. Or who knows? I mean, it could be like a free form, you know, amoeba shape. I don't know. We'll see what they come back with. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I know that they have to have um, certain shaped edges or whatever to get the drain flow in and all of that, but we'll see. We won't hear about the Community Parks and Playgrounds grant award for that. We put in for that, for the splash pad, until March at the earliest. So keep your fingers crossed, because we applied for 100,000, but we were told by MML Parks and Recreation that, and DNR, that the new governor just slashed he slashed the budget in half for everything. So he reduced the funding pools for these grants by half. So it's competitive already, but with less
With
money
that, yeah.
available now, DNR told us, make your request smaller or phase it if you can. So instead of asking for, 250,000 like I had planned on doing, we only asked for 100,000. But if we get it, that's 100,000 less that we'd have to spend. So keep
Are
your
we
fingers.
still
keep your fingers
working
crossed.
on I mean, is that part of the, like a water softener attached to the?
We'll have to have some kind of treatment system in
Okay.
there, yes. And,
Okay.
and I've been discussing that with Metro Recreation.
Okay.
Emphasize that we have to have something like that so that,
To maintain it?
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, yes. And they told me that we could have one of two options as far as the maintenance, weekly maintenance. We could have one of our public works guys kind of trained on it, which I don't know about that. I mean, not that they're not capable, but just that they're so busy
done
already.
so much. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Or we could just hire basically a pool company to come in and do the maintenance on it. And that would also include making sure that all of the nozzles are clean, all of the pipes, everything is good to go. And again, with the recirculating system being above ground, it's immediately visible, it's much easier to maintain and check at all the connections and all of that kind of good stuff, so.
What do they recommend for maintenance?
Well, I mean, there's
Like a
this,
deep clean, like of the, yeah.
yeah, there's a standard maintenance plan, like it has to be winterized, of course, just like a swimming pool.
exactly.
Right, it
Okay.
has to be winterized. The tank,
All right.
the recirculating tank has to be completely emptied. The whole system has to be cleaned out and basically shut down. And then, of course, in the spring, it all has to, get that water going back in there and test everything and make sure everything is cleaned up and the chemicals are situated. So, and then, again, like I said, they said that we could probably go with like every other day testing. So like 3 times a week testing the chemicals.
Okay.
And then, of course, like, part of that weekly trip is to make sure everything is clean, nozzles are good, everything's clear and working properly. And of course, that company would be on call if something were to happen, something would
Right.
pop up. So.
Have we looked into those numbers if we got a pool? Okay.
Yeah, have not yet
Okay.
looked into getting proposals from companies. It's going to depend on what our square footage comes out to
Right,
be and
yeah.
how many features we have. I guess, how many nozzles
But
we'll
yeah,
have, yeah,
okay.
and stuff.
Right.
Right. Yeah, how many drains we'll end up with, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Update on general park improvements. So at this point, once Bollinger is finished, we may only get to the field one infield leveling work before the colder temperatures shut us down for the winter. I really, really wanted to get Flickinger Park pathways and the small regrading area in there finished, but with the temperatures, slowly going lower and lower, I don't know if that asphalt work is going to be possible. I mean, and that was the project that was the highest priority on the list. The regrading we can do in there. But part of that regrading, once that regrading is done, and we need to seed it, so.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Do we just wait then until the spring so we can regrade and then seed, and the seed will actually germinate and grow? We'll just have to see what the weather holds for us. If the temperatures stay warm, then we can get the asphalt done. The contractor, which is Hobbs, he would be performing that work for us, says that, I mean, he can get, those pathways done in like, less than a day each. So 2 days, 3 days max for those pathways. That's all we need. So I'm just hoping we can get a window in there to get that done.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the rest of it, like I said, will have to be done in the spring. The Lions Club reached out to us. They want to have one, they want to concrete one of the pavilions, I think Pavilion 5. As you know, we have 4 and 5 in this fiscal budget year to have the concrete floor installed. So they reached out and asked what they could do. They were focusing on Bollinger there for a while, a couple of benches or additions to the pollinator garden, but then they decided to go with the concrete floor for Pavilion 5.
Okay.
So I said, all right, that's fine. So I think they're going to try to get that done in the next couple of weeks. They've already got a
wow.
contractor lined up and everything. All they want from us is just to take the picnic tables out and make sure the leaves are blown out and everything in there. So that's good. One less,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah. So that'll save
Okay.
us, almost $5,000, at least. So that's good. Update on 2023 events. Well, the last events are the Christmas tree lighting on December 2nd, the holiday decorating contest. There's also going to be the holiday market at Thunderhead. That is going to be, I think, 9 to 1, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yep. So
On
that's going to.
December 2nd.
On December
correct?
2nd
Okay.
at Thunderhead. So that's going to offer a wide variety of local vendors. So hopefully the community will come out and support that, do some Christmas shopping there. Our Christmas tree lighting kicks off at 4:30 with the candy cane hunt. And Santa's coming in at 5:30. We're gonna have wagon rides, Christmas carols. Thanks to Kathy Demp for volunteering to perform. I did reach out to the schools, Northwest and FSK, so I'm still waiting to hear back to see if any of those students want to perform. We'll see. And we'll have, we've already got a Santa lined up, same gentleman who was their Santa last year. And we'll have It's All Good, Husky Hut Coffee Company, Amber's Bake Shop, and then I don't know the funnel cake trailer, I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
Okay.
Yeah. So plenty of refreshments available, so that'll be nice. We are keeping the decorations more localized and minimized. So that'll be the gazebo where Santa will be located. Of course, the Christmas tree will be decorated. A little bit of the tennis court fence and maybe some of the trees that are between the horseshoe pits and the gazebo. And then a couple of stand-up figures like a Christmas tree and a snowman and reindeer and a train. And that's pretty much going to be it this year. Just
Okay.
with Judy, recently having had surgery and still recovering from that, and with Public Works being as busy as they are, we just have limited resources available. So we're not going to be able to decorate the whole park like we have in past years, but we'll get back there again. The holiday decorating contest starts on December 1st. It runs through the end of the month. December 15th is the deadline. And once again, I'm counting on you all to be the judges. Once I have all the entries, drive around and check them out and give me your top 3. I believe that Mish was interested in running the business decorating contest
Okay.
again. I reached out to him a couple of weeks ago to ask him about that, and I think that he's interested in running that again. So that may run in conjunction with the residential holiday decorating contest. And then additional miscellaneous updates. I don't know if you all saw, but the large merry-go-round at Memorial Park had to be removed. The main column and shaft was completely broken. It was cracked. There was no way to repair it. And then the braking mechanism was
Oh, wow.
also off. It would have cost more to get the merry-go-round out and put in a new column and shaft and put the merry-go-round back and reassemble it than it would for a new merry-go-round. So,
Crazy.
yes. And the reason we think that the column and the shaft was cracked is on October 28th, when we were there for the Tales of Taneytown, the kids were on the merry-go-round and they were just jumping on either side instead of spinning it around as they should. Again, just jumping on it like a seesaw. And that kind of weight just, the main shaft just couldn't handle it. It wasn't intended for that. So it was a safety issue. We removed it. So in the spring, we're hoping to get a new piece, a new merry-go-round piece, and we're not going to put it back in the same spot. We're going to put it down, make it part of the large red and blue playground area. So that way it's a little more inclusive, a little easier to get to.
Okay.
And then when they took out the merry-go-round, they also took out, do you know those old monkey bars, standalone monkey bars that were there and had been there for years? Kind of historic. We took those out as well. So we've got some open space there now, which would be good. I mean, we don't know what we might need that space for. I know baseball has been talking for a few years of trying to get another t-ball field situated in there. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out, but at least we'll have some space to play with anyway. So that's what I've got on old business.
Wow. Okay. Anybody have questions? No?
No?
Quiet bunch tonight. All right. New business, so discussion of the Tales of Taneytown event.
Yes. I think it went well. I mean, the weather was great. We had 17 contestants. I know it was a tough choice for the judges. I'd like to thank the judges very much, as well as everyone else who helped make the day a success. And the trunk or treat and the pumpkin decorating event also went very well. So it was a fun day for everybody. Another great day in our parks.
Yeah,
Happy to see that.
We did get some publicity after the fact.
Oh, from whom?
The Carroll County
Oh,
Times.
yes, that's
saw the
right. I
big
did.
photo
I
spread.
saw the photographer there. Yes,
Yes.
yes. A different
photo
photographer than the
spread.
one that was at the Harvest Festival. But yes, yeah, I did see him.
Unfortunately, it was after the fact.
Right,
but,
well, yeah.
that's
But that's
okay.
okay. It still shows that,
Right.
you know, fun things are going on in Taneytown. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I did see that. I remember that.
And we
It was just a
did-
photo.
Yeah.
Photo
We did
spread,
have
but that's
a
okay.
few enthusiastic residents who did full changes.
Oh my gosh,
In the
yes.
middle, so.
They had, Bill, they had boats. The ships, pirate ship, what was the other one? Was a regular boat, with their dogs in there in the boats, and they were gonna capture.
Yeah.
It was amazing. They really went to some lengths, I tell you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that takes a lot, and they did it, and that was pretty awesome, so.
Yeah, and this year we had a cat. So we're spreading out from the dogs. So I wanna really, I know one year there was a llama. I wanna see that again. I wanna see some
Yeah, we
different
did,
pets.
I've seen a llama
Yeah,
before. But
yeah.
yes, we had our first kitten in a unicorn
That's right.
costume.
Yeah, that was
So there
adorable.
you go.
Mm-hmm. That was good. Post-event discussion of the photography contest. As you all know, the contest ended. You judged the pictures and the prize winners. There were a lot of great photographs that were entered. They were just beautiful. So I'll just go over, I know you know them, but just to have it recorded, the top prize went to Michelle Desiker. First and second prize in the action category went to Valerie Rockwood and Lisa Valentine. First and second prize in the nature category went to Destiny Halpin and Becky Mendenhall. First and second prize in the play category went to Lisa Valentine and Becky Wagner. And there were several honorable mentions. So thank you all for taking the time to review all of those pictures and make your selections. I know.
That was
I
not an
know.
easy task, by the
No,
way.
there were so many,
Yeah,
and,
there were
and
so
so many good
many.
ones. Yeah.
The
it was tough.
nature, I was like, when?
I know.
When?
Right, I know.
Right? I mean, they were
Yeah.
all really,
And
really
that blue
good, so-
heron was the star of the
Oh my
show.
gosh.
Yeah, he's so photogenic.
Yeah.
Like he sees people coming and he starts posing. But yeah,
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
and just wait until next year. We'll have Bollinger Park pictures, hopefully, from the nature
that'll be
category.
exciting.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
can't wait to see that. Yeah. Oh, and someone recommended when I posted the pictures, the prize winning pictures out on Facebook, that we make a calendar of them, of not only the prize winners, but, you know, the honorable mentions as well, and sell them. Now, I don't know how profitable that would be. I mean, I know I could get them made, you know, snapfish, shutterfly, you know, whatever, yeah, that kind of thing. And we could have them available here and maybe at local businesses to sell. But calendars are funny because you start selling them maybe October, November, and then January, and then that's it.
And then
People
you
have
drop
already
off.
gotten their
Yeah.
calendars, right? They're not going to buy a calendar in March or April. So I don't know what we could do about that. I'd have to look into the cost of how much it would cost to have them made.
Make it a limited edition
All right.
thing and,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, do however many,
Right.
100 or 200 and
You know,
limited edition. This
right.
is it.
Yeah.
When they're gone, they're gone.
Well,
It's yours now.
I'm part of a Women in Parks and Recreation group, and a city in Texas, small town in Texas, they got their public works guys to pose out in their parks, out, you know, at their jobs. They were clothed, they were in their work clothes, you know, whatever, but just the poses that they were doing, you know, smelling flowers in the park, stuff like that. And they made a calendar and they made a ton of money. They were like, this
The
took
Public
off
Works
like
guys of
crazy
Taneytown.
and now it's gone viral. We've got news coverage on this. This is great, you know. So I'm
Yeah, I'm not sure about
gonna
it.
suggest
That's
that to
funny.
Kevin
Yeah.
and Randy.
Well,
about
there
that.
you go.
Yeah.
Because
Hey,
that can
if, you
help
know,
us.
if we can't get any funds from that for parks, at least, you know, go towards their public works, building. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, with a lot of the nature pictures, we could do like little postcards and
That's true.
maybe the local businesses could sell those.
Something like that. But, well, then
Something.
again,
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
don't know.
It's something to think about.
Yeah,
but-
it would depend, I guess, on the timing. Like if we had the contest a little bit sooner in the year, then we would have time with our fall
make-
events all the way up to like the Christmas lighting event.
Right.
Because we could have them there to sell, and like you said, you could put some out to businesses, but it would give
That's
you
true.
more time to sell them before the end of the year.
Right.
And like, you know, like Bill said, just start off with like a small quantity, and like if you sell out fast, the next year get a little more.
Get
or
more.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I like the postcard idea, or maybe I don't know, this would be more expensive to manufacture, but magnets, people love sticking, you know, magnets on their fridges and stuff like that. I don't know. But then that's gonna be kind of tricky because you've got to select, you know, maybe, you know, one or maybe two, you know,
Right.
pictures to squeeze on something that's got to be small enough to be
Right.
usable. I don't know. But yeah, something to think about. Yeah, if we shift the contest up to, I don't know, March, I don't know, running from March to April, or even run it over the winter from January through March, because not much is going on then. I mean, the pictures don't have to be taken during that period. The pictures can be taken at any time during the year.
Right.
So they could submit their pictures, and then we got, you know, a calendar made up or something, and then, like you said, have them available at the events, you know, for the following year, you know, calendar as well. Yeah, so
It's a possibility.
definitely something to think about.
Into like what it would cost
Yeah,
per, you know, per quantity break, like if you had
Right.
100 made or 250 made or whatever, and just see what it would cost.
Right.
See if we thought we could recoup it and make something
Right.
out of it.
yeah, I'll look into that. And see.
And also, I wanted to throw out, just because, you know, with all the cool pictures, and I feel like the pressure is on us, especially with the holiday decorating contest and all of that, and it becoming popular and us, like, not being, I'm wondering if we couldn't now throw it back out to the community to do voting. What those,
Well, the first year that we did that holiday decorating contest, we put a poll out there.
okay,
And I thought that I had secured it so that one vote, you know, per,
I
you know, your
gotcha.
top
Yeah,
three
yeah.
addresses per IP address.
oh, gotcha,
So you could use one computer for, you know, your
I
vote.
gotcha.
Not per browsing session where you could just, okay, put the vote in and then close the window
Okay.
and open another window, put another vote.
Oh.
But the one house who won, like the day after it had opened, it had a substantial lead.
Okay,
So I couldn't figure out how that happened. The other thing with that is that people get their friends and
friends to do it.
family, hey,
Yeah,
vote
I
for my
get it.
house.
Yeah.
And they don't even know what the house looks like, you know what I mean? So I feel like it should be more
understand.
centered on, yeah, on Taneytown residents
Sure.
and
Yeah.
as a matter of
No,
fact,
it was just
one
a-
of,
yeah,
one of the
just a thought.
contestants in that year actually suggested, you know, maybe you should use a judging panel instead of this
Yeah.
polling
Okay,
thing. So I know, because I thought, oh, the poll's nice and easy, and the community gets to decide.
to get involved.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And so the same thing would go with the
Without-
pictures too, with the photo contest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it did work well when we had those drive-in movies for the movie selections. Although who knows, maybe people were throwing
Don't
that too.
know.
Hey,
Right.
vote for the Lion King, you know, kind of thing. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then discussion of the 2024 Wine, Art, and Music Festival. So we are following the same format that we followed last year, which is free general admission, no tastings. And then $25 regular admission, 20 in advance. And then a $40 VIP admission, 35 in advance. We'll use Ticket Leap again for online sales. And then we'll have the at the gate sales as well. And we'll do City Hall sales and Taneytown Liquors if they're willing. I think that they would be. We are offering the beverage vendors free wristbands. If they want a tasting glass to go around and taste their competition. They seem very happy about that. We are also offering craft vendors discounted wristbands. So they can purchase their wristbands and tasting glasses for $15 for regular and $30 for VIP. So we knock $10 off, their ticket prices. So those lines have been added to the registration forms. So they'll need to, for the craft vendors, if they're purchasing the discounted wristbands or tickets, they'll need to send that payment in along with their registration fee. The beverage vendors, as part of an enticement and incentive to come join us, we're just giving them their wristbands for free.
Do we have a limit?
So,
Per,
no, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I can't.
there was one winery that
Yeah.
might have had like 3 or maybe 4.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
yeah.
I mean, if we're talking, oh, I need a
Depending,
dozen.
right.
I mean, and I have asked for, quantity. So if something like that comes up, then I'll contact that beverage vendor directly and say, look, 12 was a little unreasonable, or whatever they come up with.
Okay.
The other thing that we put on there as well is ice. They have to indicate in advance if they need ice before or during the event. If they do not sign up for it, then they're only going to be getting it if it's available. Because I know last year we ran into that where people, the vendors who said, and I don't need ice, all of a sudden, oh, I need ice. Can you give me some ice? Which, wasn't fair to the vendors who had already indicated
already,
that they needed
right,
it.
asked for
Right.
it. Yep.
So we made that plain on the forms.
Mhm.
Also indicated that they had to be available for the rain date as well. So the rain date for this is June 15th. It's the following Saturday, which I know is the same date as the Westminster Beer and Barbecue Stroll. So let's just hope for good weather that we don't get rained out. So I sent out the advanced invitation to the beverage vendors and the craft vendors and the food vendors last week. And we've already received 3 craft vendor registrations, 1 food truck, the Lucky Truck jumped on board, and 2 beverage vendors, 1 distillery and 1 winery.
Cool.
So, and we've gotten inquiries from others, so that's good. They're asking, hey, tell us more about your event, and can we sell cocktails? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Stuff like that. Yeah. So that's good. So for the bands, Midnight Run is not available now for June 8th. So we are down to Twisted Blues or The Tribe. Jerry, did you get a chance to take a look at any of those clips with those bands?
No.
Okay. I know you guys liked Twisted Blues and The Tribe and Midnight Run. And I think you had mentioned Larry Dennis and his group as well. They're so close in price. I think Twisted Blues is $1,200 and The Tribe is $1,300. So it's $100 difference. So
Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't.
Whatever, whichever, whatever, I'm good.
No, they were both really, really good.
well, what we could do, I'm assuming that for 4 hours, if that's their price for 4 hours, we could have them both if their prices for 2 hours would be half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we could put both of them out there, maybe get more of a draw. And then Midnight Run, we could book for Harvest Fest.
Right. We could do that. You can ask them to see if they'll do that, because I know
Okay.
the one band, I mean, they're pretty large bands, so I don't know if they'll do that price just for, what I'm saying.
What, you don't think, like, we're not sure if they would do like 2 hours for 600
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask them.
It's worth a try,
It is.
asking.
Yeah. 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 And they might have a minimum time set too. Like, oh, we don't do anything less than,
Right.
3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
All right. I'll ask. If they come back and say, no, we can't or don't want to do that, then
then Jerry will be the deciding
you'll be the
vote.
deciding vote, I guess.
But no pressure.
Yeah. All
So
right.
that's your assignment, to listen to.
All right, I will reach out to those two and ask them
If they would be
if
interested
they'd be
in
interested
splitting
in just splitting it, yeah.
Yeah,
If not, then Jerry, it's up to you then to choose.
Okay.
All right, and then midnight run for Harvest Fest.
Yeah.
We're good for that? All right. Okay. And that's all I have on Wine Fest now. Emmanuel had said something about having something for kids, not like a whole bunch of entertainment, but something like a bubble machine or something like that. Remember when we had discussed it after last year's event? Fun Events said that they were interested in providing a couple of things like that. We rent the tents from them and the stage from them. Would you guys be interested in, I mean, I think it's not a bad idea, but I don't know how many children actually come through there. I mean, I saw some last year because I think that there were more because of the general admission being free. People were able to go in and to shop, the craft vendors and listen to the band and such. But
And we
also,
would put them behind the food truck, right? Is that where we're,
I
because
mean,
that would get more people out.
right. I don't know. And that's not something we have to decide right now. That's something we can
Okay.
think about as we get closer. We don't have to reserve anything like that right now.
Yeah, because I would like to get the feedback, of other members that aren't here either,
Right.
but we can think about it over the holidays and talk about it
Okay.
in January.
Yeah, there was also a craft vendor, might have been Magathy Dyes. They were at the Wine Festival and they were also at the Harvest Festival. At the Harvest Festival, they did a tie-dye like activity for people and the kids.
cool.
Yeah, they could make a little tie-dye scarf or shirt or whatever. And they're thinking about doing something like that again for Wine Festival. And they had also mentioned something, some kind of, spin the wheel or, I think they had even mentioned a bubble machine or something. So we could always, reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in something like that as well.
It's always worth asking just to
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Alrighty.
All right.
That's all I have.
It's still plenty. All right, well then I'll just jump to board member comments. Do you have anything, Bill? Nothing?
no, nothing.
Okay. Public comments? I've got the no. All right, so our next meeting is going to be January. We're skipping December because of the holidays. That'll give us time to do some, looking around at holiday lights and judging, as well as being a part of our Christmas tree lighting on December 2nd. So we will meet again January 10th, 6:30, Taneytown Athletic Association first, then
Yes.
us
Right. And I believe during the January meeting, we have an election.
for secretary,
Yes. Yeah, the chair is July.
July.
Yeah.
We might
Which
have to
we're not
change-
going to have a meeting then, but I believe we did we do it in June or August? Okay, we preempted it and did it in
Well,
June?
I think we
did
probably
we-
did it in August last year, but it's up to, how's it written? We might need to get it changed.
Okay, well, it's not on the agenda for August. I think we must have done it in June. Good Lord, look at-
Okay,
Yes, we did it in June.
okay,
We did the nomination and election of chair.
all right.
So we'll
So
do
we can do that.
secretary, yeah. So
So
secretary's gonna be
secretary,
January 10th.
January, okay. And then June for chair. Oh, also, do we have an update? Nobody's expiring as far as terms are concerned, correct?
I believe everybody is good.
Just making sure before we,
Yeah, the earliest one to expire would be Bill, but you're good until 2025. So we're all set.
Yeah,
okay. So then you're.
Everybody else is 2026.
hoping I'm still around in 2025.
All right, so with that, if we don't have anything else to discuss, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll take a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right. Have a great Thanksgiving and happy holidays. See you in January.
Thank you.